Hello and welcome to the Film Society show. Tonight we will be covering some of the latest film news and reviews, as well as taking a closer look at the Film Society. But first, let me introduce you to our guests, Sam and Rich, who are both Film Society committee members.
Hello.
Hi guys, do you want to introduce yourselves?
So I'm Sam. I'm the Film Society manager, which is, well, it's essentially just a title. But it means I'm very technically the head of what goes on, so, you know, organising events and meetings and all that.
I'm Rich, and I'm the finance manager this year, which it really doesn't mean anything much like your title.
Yeah.
It's essentially anything, I do anything that Sam doesn't do, basically. So we're a team together, aren't we?
We're one functioning human being.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So how have you guys both found the Film Society so far this year?
It's been good. It's been
a lot more active than last year so far. I mean, we're much more into site this year, so we're running in both Stoke and Stafford, which is something it's new for the society.
Very much so. I mean, we've already tripled in members, which means more members, more funds, but it also means more members, more work. So we've got a lot of work to get through this year, and it's been pretty hectic, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But
We've got a lot of events and competitions running. So, for example, we're going to try and go to the IMAX in Manchester.
In Manchester,
to go and see a
fortnight.
Yeah, when that comes out.
And I've also contacted the union this past week, and we're in the early stages now of organising the Berlin trip, which was so popular last year. So we're getting that this time, but we're getting that both campuses. So there's going to be a mix of people who've never met before, and that's going to be a massive networking opportunity, if anything else. So that's going to be fantastic as well.
But mostly, it's just been a lot more. A lot more this year. It's sort of Film Society 2.0.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, Rich, you are a newcomer to the society this year. So how have you found it stepping into the role?
I mean, it's tough. It's definitely tough. There's a lot of work, and especially with, as you say, with the Intersite stuff, it means it's a lot of time, because you've got 7 till 9 on Monday in Stoke, 7 till 9 on Tuesday in Stafford, and that's already 4 hours, and that's not even any of the planning at all. So you've got a load of work to put behind it, as well as balance it beside your course. But at the end, it's really rewarding. I mean, we get to go to Berlin. I mean, why would you not?
Awesome. Right, so let's talk about some films that have come out this year, and some of the best ones. So this year has saw the release of Jurassic World, the second Avengers installment, Age of Ultron, and Inside Out. So what have stood out for you guys this year? What have you been paying particular attention to?
Well, you mentioned Jurassic World. That definitely stood out for me, just because there was so much hype surrounding Jurassic World that I really was not sure about it at all. The trailers were so Hollywood, it was unbelievable, and I just earmarked that from about January. I was like, I'm not going to go see that. That looks dreadful. But then I went and saw it, and got dragged along, and absolutely loved it. It smashed everything that I thought it was going to be, and I thought it was an absolutely fantastic, rounded film. Definitely a good dedication to the first Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Personally, I mean, I've not been to see Jurassic World, so I mean, I can't say anything about it.
Definitely do.
Yeah,
Definitely. Seriously watch it.
DVD, Blu-ray.
Yeah, very soon.
Next week, I believe.
Yeah, probably. But I mean, I went and saw a film called Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. It's a little indie flick. It's almost like if you took The Fault in Our Stars, but then, you know, took away all of the pretentiousness behind it and just made it a solid comedy about a teenager who meets a girl with cancer, which doesn't sound hilarious, but
not
really
particularly.
it really works. It's got this sort of nice meat to it without trying to be too just too much on an audience. It doesn't promote any agenda. It doesn't promote anything huge. It's just trying to be really nice, really funny, and really thought-provoking, which is it's really good. It's not something you see from films hugely often.
Yeah. So how come you've picked those films then? Why are those in particular?
Like I say, for me, it was the hype surrounding Jurassic World. I instantly had absolute low expectation for it. For then to go see it and leave the cinema thinking, wow, that was perfect narrative, fantastically done on screen, and brilliant acting throughout. I mean, that just sold it to me completely.
So I'm going to go down the complete opposite route here and just say, if a film can make me laugh 1 minute and then just be sobbing uncontrollably the next, because, you know, emotionally broken here, then that's what I really want from a film, something that can make me feel every single type of emotion. I mean, dinosaurs sound cool as well, but also crying is great.
Essentially, you want to sit through like a 2-hour menstrual cycle.
Yeah, why not?
Fair enough. So as I mentioned earlier, Age of Ultron was released this year. What are our thoughts on that? Because I know we've all seen it. And
Marvel Society turn away.
It's one of those odd ones, because you have the first Avengers film come out and it's this incredible sort of tour de force. You know, superhero movies before that, you know, you've got things like X-Men and the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. You look at them and think, we don't talk about them. But you know, they're a bit campy, but they're fun. Whereas you've got the Avengers, and it's epic, and it's something that's never
uplifting
really
when
been
you
done
watch
before.
it.
it really is.
But then Age of Ultron came out.
It's good that you've got this. You don't have to set anything up, because you've already set up the Avengers. You've already set up all the characters, so you can get right into the meat of things. But it's just a bit of a...
The issue is there was, for me, too much meat. There was nothing surrounding action, and it was just like the first Avengers. If you watch it, it's only about an hour in before they actually start fighting and things like that. So you get all of this groundwork behind the film, which is needed in any film, whether set up or not. And you get all this groundwork, and then they have this massive climax battle. But then Ultron, it was just like, oh, you already know that, so we're just going to throw you straight into the battle. And it was like, I don't really want that out of that film at all.
The only thing I could compare it to is like a well-done steak. So it's like you've got this really incredible idea, and you've just sort of
Done it a bit too much.
Yeah, it's like microwaving it. You've done it a bit wrong.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine, just stop it.
I think one of the problems with it was that because the first Avengers film was so successful and the money it made, that it's been financially pumped up the wazoo to the point where
absolutely
it's just almost
well, it's like Joss Whedon was
really.
like, what can we do with this? Let's make a city fly.
Exactly.
It's like, we don't need that. We don't need that at all. We just need to leave feeling epic, and you don't need to spend $100 gajillion on doing that. You just have to make a good film.
I think as well that like the storyline of the Avengers, getting them all together and forcing them together as a team, seeing that in the first one and then doing it again, it's kind of hard to replicate in that sense. But
yeah, I agree with you. It's just the repetition of the story. It wasn't a new film, but we live.
Just wait for the next two now. See what they turn out like. Now, moving on to more news. According to Variety, this is something I recently found out today, actually. Transformers, the Transformers franchise, will have up to 8 films. 8! And spin-offs have also been discussed already. So are they hurting themselves more, or do you think that they're actually going to be good?
Well,
I can answer that one. No, they're not going to be good.
They're not going to be good, but they're
flogging
not...
a dead horse, aren't they?
They really are.
They're not going to be good, but they're not going to hurt themselves, because you've got this same audience that always goes to see Transformers and any sort of film.
It's the well-done steak. There are some people that really like a well-done steak, and they're just going to keep going to the restaurant to buy it.
Like
Doesn't make
rustlers.
it good. Yes, like rustlers. There are people buy rustlers, and rustlers aren't great, but they buy them anyway, and that's what Transformers is. Transformers are rustler burgers.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I didn't see the last one with Wahlberg.
Oh,
well done.
But thank you.
Apparently there's an Oreo Transformer in it.
Is there?
Yeah. It's like an Oreo box. I mean, I've not seen it, but my little brother, he had this half-hour rant at me about it.
Wow.
Apparently there's this, it's not like a box of Oreos, like a vending machine with Oreos on it. It turns into a Transformer. And it's...
So no product placement at all in the film?
Literally none. No. They did it out of the love of the biscuit.
All right, then. So that's all great and very interesting, and I'm sure they will pull it off. A very exciting piece of news now. Doc Brown and Marty McFly will be travelling forward in time on the 21st of October. Of course, I am talking about Back to the Future. For the anniversary, Pepsi are releasing the Pepsi Perfect bottles.
Yes.
I'm very excited about this.
Yes,
I think this is
so
going to be
good.
fantastic. They were first seen in the second installment of the Back to the Future series when Doc Brown and Marty travel into the future. As I said, this is going to be amazing. So what are you guys thinking?
Well, if you
Yeah.
didn't think that was amazing,
I know,
I'd come over
right?
and slap you.
You sort of have to. It's yeah, you've got, what is it? Back to the Future 2 came out in what, 1989?
I
was
think
it?
so.
And yeah, they've got this idea of what 2015 is going to be like, and it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
But people are going, you know what? Let's release 19 Jaws films
Yeah.
in like the run up to the 21st. And
It's just the fact that this real cult classic has actually just gone global. Everyone's just gone absolutely mad about it this past sort of 2-3 months. And these big companies are accepting this hype and are going, yeah, let's do it. Let's make these cult items like the hoverboards or the Pepsis. Like I've literally, before I came out today, I ordered a Pepsi Perfect on Amazon. No regrets, because it's just such an incredible
You
thing.
haven't, have you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm done.
I will be
Sorry, do
doing
you want
that
to come
later.
on and just stroke?
That's fine. That's fine. I will be charging.
We were talking last night at the Film Society meeting
Yeah.
about our opinions of the Back to the Future films, and you completely shocked me, Sam, with your
Yeah, I was
with
really
your
shocked that no one else
order.
thought this.
Oh no.
Yes,
So
yes.
apparently I'm the only person that
Don't
likes...
say two.
No, I don't like Back to the Future 2 as much.
I don't.
I think
You're wrong.
Yeah.
I thought
I'm
he was
not
gonna
wrong. I'm
say-
with the world on
I
this
thought
one.
he
Two
was
is the
gonna
best.
Say two the best.
You got to listen
which
to
is
people with the
wrong.
jumpers.
Yeah, that's wrong.
I will have a jumper
It
soon.
most definitely
Then you will
goes
have to listen to me.
1, 3, 2.
Exactly.
2, 1, 3. 2, 1, 3. It's the only way.
Two's a bridge movie. Like it's
Yeah.
really good. It's really fun, but it's
Very cheesy.
yeah.
It leaned
one-
away from the satirical approach of the first one. And
One's
just
like the
became its own
quintessential one. Three's the western, which is just genius.
spin. Yeah.
And then two's the bridge movie. So it's
Also known as the better one.
no. Ooh,
Yes.
ooh. Sounds like a bit of bias, Mr. Presenter.
Dave is
Yes.
in the Film
All right.
Society and will lose points, which we will explain later.
Moving on. Well, if you want to get your hands on one of the Pepsi Perfect bottles, you will have to follow Pepsi on all of their social media sites and have announced that they will go on sale on the 21st of October for $20.15.
Or pre-order it on Amazon, because you can do that too.
That as
Yeah.
well. Moving back towards the Film Society, you guys have been running it for a few weeks now. So how's it been going?
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Really well. I mean, you obviously have that. You with every society, you're going to have that first week where everyone shows up. Then everyone, like half the people that you end up having sign up at the society fairs are all like, "Oh, what's going on here?" And then obviously you're going to have like this sort of wane of interest in members, but that's to be expected. But the people that have stuck around, they're really genuine people.
Yeah.
And like we said when we were planning the Film Society, we want to make it as it says, a society. So it's just a group of people getting together and just having a bit of a laugh, to be honest. We don't want to push work too much as we just want it to be a place we can get together, have a laugh, but it's all with
Make
like-minded
a couple
people.
of films, watch
Yeah.
a couple of films.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Well, it's like you said,
So
last
casual.
night we were going on about the Back to the Future films for God knows how long.
and that was on our Halloween activity night.
Yeah. We call
as
it
long as
Halloween
it's
activity night.
Nerdy, we like it.
What was it? Was it the first week that we played Gangster's Paradise through Google Translate?
It was,
on
yeah.
repeat? So it's a good laugh. I mean, and that's all you can really hope for from a society.
Yeah.
So yeah, successful.
Fantastic. Now, what is this about a leaderboard? Do you want to explain what this
The
is?
leaderboard is our new addition this year, because we wanted to add a bit of competition amongst the people in the society, and now that we've gone into sight, amongst the two Stoke and Stafford societies. So we wanted to introduce some sort of competition. So to do that, we created the leaderboard, which Sam will explain to you because it's his brainchild.
Oh, I'm so proud of myself. The leaderboard sounds really big and clever. It's an Excel spreadsheet.
It is.
The idea is we're going to be running competitions throughout the year. So it initially started as if you win a competition or come in second or third or whatever, you'll get a couple points to go on this leaderboard. And then the person with the highest amount of points at the end of the semester will win a prize that's maybe like that big, and then the person with the most points at the end of the year wins a prize that's maybe that big. So it's this idea of bringing competition. But what we've now ended up doing is including the rule that points are the most arbitrary thing. You've seen QI?
Yes.
And the points really don't matter in that game. So we're making it as much like that as possible. Like, for example, we had one of our members on Monday, Rob, brought along an HDMI cable because I forgot one. Needed it to hook a laptop up to the projector. So he got a point for that. Because
and likewise, I mean, last week on the Be Kind We Ryan challenge, which we'll talk about, you did James Bond. Now, neither of us particularly like James Bond, so you actually lost 0.07 points on the leaderboard, as well as the rest of your group. So
yeah,
that's how the points work. They're a bit of a laugh.
They're entirely meaningless, but we will stick to our guns and try and do a pricing so that it might carry on to next year and be something that the society's not necessarily known for, but it's something that everyone enjoys about it.
And we discussed on this show, we would announce who's the top of that board, and I think at the minute, it's Rob Clough, is that right?
Yeah.
Over in Stoke, so well done, Rob, if you're watching, congratulations.
Good boy.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So that sounds incredibly exciting, and I am definitely going to be buying you some drinks later. Now on to some of the work that the Society has been creating. You guys have been doing some Sweded trailers, haven't you?
Yes.
Before we show these, do you guys want to explain what a Sweded trailer actually is?
Essentially, the term Swede means to make it on absolute zero budget and look dreadful for comedic effect. So what you're about to see looks crap. We know it looks crap. It's supposed to look crap. Yeah. So don't judge the entirety of our society's work on what you're about to see.
What we were looking for was the best, worst trailer.
Yeah.
So that's,
Fantastic. And one of these is the best, worst trailer.
One of these is the best.
So we will take a look and then we will announce the winner of the competition.
Ghosts.
Hello, Ghostbusters.
They're real.
You do?
They're mean.
You have?
They're here. I'm giving you a night call to tell you how I feel. No. I'll drive you through the night, down the hills, into the no, no, no. I'm gonna tell you something you don't want to hear. Into the no, no, no. I'm gonna show you. There's something inside you. It's hard to explain.
There are the Sweden trailers. So, guys, what are our thoughts on those?
They were fantastic.
They really were brilliant.
Would you like us to announce the winner?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is all.
After careful
No.
thought and deliberation.
We thought that we'd pick the one that really sort of
Captured the Swede essence.
So the best, worst thing we
It
could
really
imagine.
was the best of really awful film.
Plus, including a watermelon was just a genius move.
So-
So it's got to go.
It's got to go to the
Jack
drive,
Nicholls.
which is Jack Nicholls. So
Yeah.
well done to Jack.
You're going to be getting 10 points on the leaderboard.
Yep. And the not golden clapper
Yeah,
board.
which we've got hidden down here.
So that's our award. You don't get to
lovely.
keep that. That goes to every person
Yeah.
who wins, and then
Basically,
we
you
get
get
it
to
back.
hold it.
Yep.
Just holding it for about 10
You
seconds.
get to hold it for 10 seconds, then you have to give it back.
Yep.
Congratulations. So let's now review the latest cinema and DVD releases, shall we?
Why not?
First up, The Martian, just released in cinemas. Have we seen it yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I haven't, so I will leave this up to you guys to have a chat about. So tell me, why should I go and see it?
It's Matt Damon at the height of his Matt Damon revival. If you liked Interstellar, you'll probably like this because it's pretty much the same thing. Going and
Very
rescuing,
debatably.
going and rescuing Matt Damon.
So, The Martian is, a crew goes to Mars. They think Matt Damon dies on Mars. He doesn't. So he has to survive for 4 years until the next manned mission to Mars comes back.
Right, okay.
So he's he's stuck on a planet with, you can't grow food, there's no water, there's no animals. All he's got is just this one base. So how does he do it? And that's what you got to find out by watching the film. But it's although it does get a bit Hollywood at points.
Very
which-
Armageddon.
Yeah,
sometimes.
so
I
like,
could imagine it too.
for a
yeah.
film like this isn't the greatest thing, but aside from that tiny little nitpick, it's fantastic. It's just a really good watch. It keeps you entertained for the entire. Well, it's 2.5 hours long,
Ooh,
which
right, okay.
and that's
That is a
fairly
long
for a
film. Yeah, that is a
but
long film.
It does really keep you entertained, which is something. Again, that's what you want from a film. You don't want to be bored at any point, and at no point during The Martian was I
definitely.
bored. So
There's a lot of comedy in it as well, and a lot of
yeah.
use of comedic soundtrack. So if you
Really?
like ABBA,
Okay.
then you'll like The Martian.
it's like one of those weird side-by-side things. Like,
Very much.
did you like ABBA Gold? Real love, Ridley Scott's new film.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, up next. Oh, do you want to rate it? Seems as though you've both seen it.
I'd give it 4 out of 5.
Yeah,
out
4
of 5. Not
4
out
out
of
of
10.
Yeah.
That would be a bit hard.
I know, I was thinking
Out of
that.
20, I'd give it a 4.
It was fantastic. 0. yeah,
4 out of 5.
Solid 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Fantastic. Up next is Tomorrowland, The World of
Hitting
Tomorrow.
DVD.
On
Yeah.
DVD, yes.
Just come out. It's
Yeah. Very big budget on Tomorrowland.
for such an excitably large flop.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the biggest flops of history, in
Yeah.
fact.
Which is a real shame because honestly, I think it's one of the most innocent, harmless, and brilliant kids' films
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
It looks really interesting.
Well, directed by
Yes.
Brad Bird,
Yeah.
same as The Incredibles. So you've already got that very comedically adult approach to
Yeah.
something. And it looks pretty.
It
looks
really
very
does.
pretty.
It's beautiful, and so it's got the star power with George Clooney and Britt Robertson and Hugh Laurie and all that, and it's just so nice. Like,
But it does fall behind a slightly weak plot and script, though.
Yeah,
is the
like
issue.
it's
That's
a
the
little-
main issue with
but
Tomorrowland.
then again, it is a kids' film.
Yeah, primarily.
Yeah, you can't go into it expecting something something perfect
you can't
as an
think
adult
Ridley
film.
Scott when you're watching it because
No.
it's not. It's a different audience.
Yeah, you get exactly what you pay for, and I don't regret seeing it one little bit because it's just a really lovely, really nice film.
As George Clooney is hurtled across the room on the screen.
Punching guys in the face. It's made for 3-year-olds.
He says as some guy has his hand chopped off.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, really,
Fantastic.
really decent film.
Yeah.
Can't say a bad word about it.
I'd give it a 3.5.
Really?
Yeah, because
I'd say solid
I don't
4.5.
think it. I don't think it has replay value. I wouldn't watch it again.
Because I thought
So better than The Martian.
Well, from a personal standpoint, I enjoyed it more than The Martian.
Oh, okay.
But if you're thinking about, what a general audience
From a
might think.
personal standpoint, I think you're wrong. But okay.
From a personal standpoint, I think you're ugly.
This is what you get if you join the Film Society,
Yes.
everybody. There you go. Right, now on to some upcoming films of the year. And first one we're going to chat about is Spectre.
Okay.
So let's watch the trailer. What are our thoughts? I think this is going to blow Skyfall out of the water. I really do. I cannot wait for
I
it.
think it has potential. I think it's got a solid cast, and I think that Skyfall set it up well. However, now we're going into the Avengers syndrome, where is it potentially
Yes.
that
Yeah.
Skyfall has set it up really well. Everyone really enjoyed Skyfall, had the great soundtrack, looked fantastic story, and a good tribute to old Bond. But are we then going to get just a repeat of that? That people are then just going to watch it go?
One of the big worries, I suppose, is the fact that it's entirely, it's not a bad thing that it's entirely the same pre-production team, but I think what they might be trying to do with this is capitalise on what they did well with Skyfall, but there is the worry that that's all they're going to try and do, and they're not going to try and reinvent anything.
Apart from a couple of cast changes and a cinematographer and a different editor, I think it's the same people that
Yeah.
made Skyfall.
That is potentially an issue.
Yeah.
Although on the other
Potentially.
hand, it could make it better than Skyfall,
Yeah,
which is
absolutely.
and of course that's what it's what we want because there's nothing better than a good film.
I mean, it already looks gorgeous. You can
It
see
really
the
does.
lighting and everything on it. It looks fantastic.
I've got complete
So the
faith in the
potential's
story as
there.
well.
Yeah.
I mean, like John Logan, who came on board with Skyfall and perked that up. He's penned this on his own.
Yeah.
And he's like my favourite writer, Oscar winning. So
Yeah.
I've got no doubts that he's written an incredible film.
I think it has potential.
We'll have to see what it's like when it comes out.
Yeah. And speaking of the release date, that will be October 26th. Now on to one of the revivals of one of the biggest franchises in film history,
course.
Star Wars, and its new film, The Force Awakens. So let's take a quick look at that trailer. What have we thought? What are we thinking?
So excited.
Very excited.
Super buzzed, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. Again, could
Yeah.
the hype take over? I don't think it will. I have absolute faith in the crew and the actors, and I feel it'll be almost Jurassic World-y,
Yeah.
however, far better, in that it will pay tribute to the original series
Yeah.
rather than what George Lucas ended up making in the noughties, which...
We're just the ideal thing would be to not have a repeat of episode 1, which it doesn't look like it will be.
I don't think so.
So, what more can you want from it's a winter blockbuster, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
absolutely. I just think it looks both revitalizing and innovative in
Yeah.
that it will be much the same, but also incredibly different to the point where, like Skyfall, it incites this new wonder into something you've already seen. And that's my personal standpoint for it.
I reckon
say.
it's got a solid chance of being the highest grossing film ever made.
Potentially.
I reckon
Very
I reckon it could do
potentially,
it. And for good reason, because just look at it.
It's so pretty,
It
and it's
really is.
exciting my inner nerd and my outer nerd.
Yeah.
Smiles all round.
I don't think there is any chance that this could be a bad film in
I
any
agree
sense of
with
the
you.
word.
I agree with you.
I just hope it lives up to that.
Yeah, touch wood,
touch wood. And the release date for that will be December 18th. Now on to Guillermo del Toro's creepy gothic Crimson Peak. Let's take a look at that trailer. Now, Rich, you said you've not heard anything about this at all, have you?
It's been very much out of the limelight, I think, because not even on the slightest have I heard anything about this. However, if it's got Del Toro's name attached, Pacific Rim aside, it has some serious potential. Because
Definitely,
he's an innovative in what things look like.
Yeah.
When you look at Pan's Labyrinth, I mean, that is creepy. That really is creepy.
He did something completely out of his comfort zone and completely different with Pacific Rim, and this is going right back to his roots.
Exactly, which
Yeah.
is why I think that gamble didn't quite pay off for me. However, this looks so Del Toro, which is perfect. It's absolutely
It
perfect.
really
Yeah.
does.
I mean, yeah. So proper gothic horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for it.
The issue with gothic horror nowadays is it can end up looking very Hammer horror.
Yeah.
And I think that's something Del Toro will steer away from, because if you look at that already, it doesn't look conventional horror like
Not at all.
everyone's used to nowadays of when's the jump scare going to happen.
Yeah.
It looks creepy, it looks realistic, and that's exactly what gothic horror was at the time and what it could be now. I think that looks absolutely
And it's
incredible.
exactly what Del Toro does
Yeah,
brilliantly as well.
absolutely.
Return to form, hopefully.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely. So that is out in cinemas now, so you should definitely go and see it. And finally, a film that has caused some controversy over the last week is Suffragette. So let's have a look at that trailer. Now, controversy was caused at the premiere when Sisters Uncut, a feminist direct action group, brought it to a standstill as dozens of women staged a lie-in on the red carpet to protest against cuts being made to domestic abuse services. Dead women can't vote was the chant before they were dragged off by security guards. So what are your thoughts on that?
It's interesting, very interesting.
Very interesting,
As
yeah.
as a sort of a feminist movement, as a protest, it's genius, because there's no other film that you could 100% get away with doing it in front
Definitely.
of. Because, you know, considering what the film is about, if you remove, you know, any expression of feminism from the premiere, then people will kick off at the security. And it's just this big ball of genius. I mean, was it Helena Bonham Carter said that
I think so,
she
yeah.
even praised them at the premiere? So, you know, and they're absolutely they're well within their right to do it, and you know, it's a very clever move. So good on them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. Now that's all we've got time for, but if anybody wants to find out more about the Film Society, they can find you guys at, where is it?
Facebook page.
Yep, get straight on Facebook. We post everything on there.
Yeah,
You can find us on the Union page.
Yep, there's that. We've got a Twitter somewhere.
Yep, we have a Twitter
under
at
Staff's
Staff's Film
Uni.
Sock.
Yep.
And also, our meetings are 7 till 9, Monday and Tuesday. Monday in Stoke, that's in Brindley. On our Facebook page, you can see the exact room because Brindley is huge. And on Tuesday, we're in F11 here in Stafford, 7 till 9.
Fantastic. So thanks for watching, guys. Please tune in next week for our next show. But until then, good night.